Did you know that the hunger of crew members aboard a submarine determines how long they can stay underwater? A nuclear submarine in the U.S. Navy possesses the capacity to continuously create air and water from salt water, but it cannot provide food for many years. Submarines frequently need to make trips for more supplies because of this. We recently had the good fortune to win a lottery chance that allowed us to take a tour inside a $3 billion nuclear submarine's kitchen and freezer to see firsthand how food is made and kept. In today's video, we will look inside a $3 billion nuclear submarine kitchen. What are the sailors eating above the Navy submarine? The team must place meal orders based on where they will be, which is frequently difficult because the chef must modify his menu. This takes a lot of thinking ahead. Additionally, the culinary staff reports that the crew of the submarine complains loudly about the cuisine, adding to the pressure on them to provide delectable meals. A U.S. Navy submariner's life is challenging. While traveling through frigid waters in a steel tube for months, these sailors are surrounded by explosives, combustible materials, and even nuclear weapons. They are susceptible to horrible mishaps, even in times of calm. During a conflict, they run the risk of being pursued and destroyed by hostile ships and helicopters. But they are known to eat well. Check out this out-of-print book on feeding submarine sailors if you don't believe me. According to reports, the Submarine Research Center at U.S. Naval Submarine Base Bangor, Washington, ordered the 2000 book Submarine Cuisine. It includes intriguing observations regarding the duties of a cook aboard a sub, how the food is loaded, kept, and cooked, as well as the sorts of meals submarine workers may enjoy. It describes life on submarines going back to World War II. The book includes tales of submarines from the era when vessels were given fish-related names, such as the USS Hardhead, USS Bluegill, and USS Blenny. The book adds that sailors are fed 3 meals a day for the duration of a modern American submarine's mission, which might continue for weeks or even months without replenishment. Submarines of the Pacific Fleet were fed by Cisco, a ubiquitous food distributor, whereas those on the East Coast were fed by Kings Bay. 1 box of goods at a time, the food is manually dropped into fast attack submarines at the harbor. On ballistic missile submarines, the food is dropped by crane in aluminum modules measuring 6 by 6 by 5 feet via the entrance of the escape trunk. The book also includes recipes for popular breakfast dishes like creamed eggs, which, let's face it, doesn't sound all that wonderful. It also includes instructions for making corned beef and cabbage, ginger pot roast, now we're going somewhere, and Maryland-style fried chicken. Naturally, the collection of recipes includes Navy bean soup. Desserts including cherry pie, rice pudding, and baked apples round out the recipe list. One of the more customer-focused positions on a U.S. Navy submarine, the cook's responsibility is highlighted in submarine cuisine. The pressure to prepare meals, clean up after themselves, adhere to a timetable, and stay under a monthly food budget is constant for submarine cooks. It's crucial to maintain a clean dining space. The staff conducts training sessions in the dining room while meals are not being served. Because submarines are designed to operate silently and because submariners seldom divulge details of daily life on board, the Navy's submarine force is known as the Silent Service. Submarine cuisine offers a glimpse into the daily lives of American submariners through their food, but it isn't precisely top-secret information. When you think of a submarine, you might picture a small, dark vessel quietly moving through the water. But did you know that submarines can stay submerged for months at a time? How do they do it? Well, part of the answer lies in the process of resupplying nuclear submarines at sea. From refueling to restocking the pantry, you'll see how every need is taken care of while the submarine remains hidden beneath the waves. So sit back and enjoy this inside look at one of the most interesting aspects of modern naval warfare. The ballistic missile submariners of the United States can remain underwater and concealed from prying eyes for up to 3 full months at a time. However, what takes place when one of these boats has to be resupplied while it's at sea? There are a variety of resupply methods accessible to these covert war machines, but only one just made public by the United States Navy. These choices range from tiny drones to enormous cargo planes. Rear Admiral Blake Converse, commander of Submarine Force Pacific, made these remarks this week at the annual symposium hosted by the Naval Submarine League. "We don't need to send them fuel, but sometimes we do need to send them food, and sometimes we do need to get them some parts to keep them at sea," Converse said. "Our submarines are quite dependable and can carry quite a quantity of food, but this further expands the range that those submarines are capable of traveling, and it was a major boon to the BN Force's ability to carry out their missions." As part of the maritime component of the United States nuclear triad, the United States Navy operates a total of 14 ballistic missile submarines of the Ohio class, all of which are fueled by nuclear reactors. These submarines perform their duties in conjunction with the triad's aerial leg, composed of bombers such as the B-52 and the B-2, and the land-based leg, which is made up of intercontinental ballistic missiles. Both Russia and China have their very own nuclear triads, and the tactics that they use are quite similar. Because they are an integral element of the nuclear triad, these submarines are required to remain at sea for lengthy periods. This helps to ensure that the sea-based nuclear deterrent that the United States maintains is effective. However, because they can only keep enough food on board for around 90 days at a time, these submarines sometimes need to be resupplied when they're out in open water. If a large-scale conflict was to break out with a near-peer and nuclear-capable adversary like China, these submarines would serve an essential bit of posturing, ensuring that China would not launch a nuclear strike against the United States by the nuclear doctrine of manually assured destruction, also known as MAD. The basic idea underlying MAD is deceptively straightforward. The United States nuclear triad assures that no nuclear assault could obliterate all three mechanisms of nuclear weapon delivery that are at the disposal of the United States. The mutual assistance arrangement is essentially an agreement between adversarial countries that states, "If we go, you go with us." Because of this, the United States ballistic missile submarines are often referred to as boomers, which is not very humorous. The United States Navy conducted tests to determine the most effective method of delivering supplies to these submarines while they were at sea, using 4 distinct flying platforms. At first, a member of the United States Navy piloted a quad-rotor drone that was capable of delivering small objects or pieces of equipment to a submarine that was surfaced. After that, a United States Navy MH-60 Seahawk brought in a bigger payload, followed by a United States Marine Corps MV-22B Osprey bringing in another cargo load. Finally, a United States Air Force C-17 Globemaster dropped another package from the sky as it sailed above. Whether it be a small part delivered by a UAV, if it maintains the submarine fully operational because it fixes their atmospheric control systems or weapon systems, or whether it be a resupply of food or other logistics or medical capabilities that they need to continue on their mission, we exercise those things to demonstrate the ability to keep our submarines at sea, said one official. What do you think about the life inside of a submarine? Feel free to drop your thoughts inside the comments below. Kindly support the channel.